Okay, y'all, thanks for being on here tonight. And it's August 1st, so it's a new month, and I love fresh starts because I always feel very optimistic at the beginning of the month. And last month, I know was a great month for so many of us and just super exciting things happening. And this month, we are digging deep into the winning day. So we're going to be connecting a lot about this and really training hard on this to get really just consistent with the important things in our business without feeling like we're spending 8 hours a day trying to do this and getting nowhere, right? Like we want to be effective and work smarter and not harder. So we're going to work hard on that this month. But tonight I'm excited that we have Silvia Porter here. And if I accidentally call you Sylvia Parker, it's because that's my daughter's teacher. And so that just keeps, every time I say your name, I almost say Parker. But Silvia, I was really excited when she said yes to do this because y'all, she's been one of the mastermind brains behind our intermittent fasting challenges that we've been doing. And this lady, like, I mean, you seem like you just like bend over backwards to make it as easy as possible for all of us Jules to partner with you guys and have the information and be organized for our teams, even when we're like a chaotic mess and not organized at all. So sorry, we have more hopping in here. So I just really appreciate that. And I appreciate people who, you know, are just willing to partner with others or do team calls, even though we're not your team and your team's not benefiting from this and you're just sharing knowledge and wisdom. So we're just thankful that you're here tonight and I'm excited to hear your journey. So
thank you.
And
all righty. Well, thank you again for having me. It's my privilege to be able to do this and my honor that it's an honor that you would ask me. So I appreciate that. As she said, my name is Silvia Porter and I am in Claremont, California, which is in LA County. I have been with Plexus. It's going to be 9 years in December. So it's been a while, but I always like to tell people a little bit further back from that, because what I did was I joined a network marketing company in college. I thought it would be super fun to have some extra money and like play with makeup and do fun things with my sorority sisters. And I tell people that because I want people to know that I'm someone who is a believer in network marketing. I've been doing this, I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to be close to 30 years. And so I went to college, did it in college, went to law school. I think I continued doing it in law school. I can't remember if I stopped in law school. I think I did stop in law school. And then once I was graduated law school and started working, I went back to it because I like the girl time. I like getting together with my friends and meeting new people. And so I continued to do it. So here I'm practicing law and selling cleanser to my co-attorney that sits next door to me, which is funny. So I did that for 12 years. And then along the way, got married, had children, and I have 3 kids, a 17-year-old, 15-year-old, and 12-year-old, girl, boy, boy. My middle son was born, well, my first son, but he's the middle kid. He was born with Down syndrome. And so I was 7 years into my career when he was born. And if any of you have kids with special needs, you know that that throws you into a world of appointments and extra schooling and extra therapy and extra everything. And he also had a heart condition, which got operated on and wasn't really an issue, but follow-up appointments. And so it just completely changes your everyday typical world. And I kept working, had another baby. In the meantime, I'm so thankful my mom and my sister were very helpful, so I didn't really have to worry about that. But 12 years into my career, I just was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not happy. I'm miserable going to work. Work's never satisfied with what you do for them anyways. I'm missing my kids' birthdays because I have a deadline. And so I told my husband that I wanted to quit. So in the summertime, I told him, like, by December, I want to quit. And so we just cut all the extras out and started saving. And in 2012, I quit. And I thought, okay, if I can make my network marketing business make up about half of my salary, it'll be fine. And I was still doing the other thing. And we went to a conference and realized makeup's never going to sell that much. Like I told my girlfriend, everyone on that panel, except for one person, was with Rodan and Fields. And I don't really know their comp plan. Everyone else on that panel was selling health supplements. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, we're never going to sell enough mascara to have the volume that they're talking about. So that was in October. And then in November, my high school best friend posted about Plexus. And I was like, that was one of the speakers. Actually, it was Sarah Marble at the conference I was at. She was the speaker. And I said, that lady was with Plexus. And so I texted my girlfriend and I said, look, ever since I left the law field, which is almost a year later now, because I quit in December and now it's like October. And I never got my other business to even make $2,000 a month. I said, what is going on? I see you posting about this, and I know that you're not serious about network marketing. So if something caught your attention enough to get you back in it, I want to know what it is. And so she told me about Plexus. And of course, what appealed to me about Plexus was that it's universal, right? I enjoyed making women feel good and having these pampering sessions, but with Plexus, we're reaching everybody. My dad could try it. My brother could try it. My kids could try it. So to me, the comp plan was very appealing. So you'll hear all these stories of, I just wanted to get skinny. I just wanted to not have pain. Like, I was looking for the paycheck, period. I joined, I think she sent me a 7-day trial of Slim. And I said, okay, make me an account and I want more. And then I called her the next day and was like, cancel that account and just sign me up. Like, whatever's going on here, I'm going to do this with you. And then I told my girlfriend that we were doing the skincare thing together. I said, I just want you to know, like, I'm switching. I think there's more money potential here. And if you don't switch with me, I'm taking all our friends. They're all going to be on my team because I'm going to tell everybody. So 5 days later, she joined me because she's not dumb. And so from there, we kind of just shared with everybody. So yes, not everybody comes into this with the mindset of wanting to start a business. I get that. But the way we started the business is similar to how everybody else starts. I got the products and I basically said, I don't know, I didn't notice much. I mean, what's 4 days, 5 days going to show you? But I do know that so-and-so said that her blood sugar levels are better. And I know so-and-so said she has all this energy. And my friend lost so much weight and she's been doing it for 2 or 3 months. So mom, you have issues with this. So I want you to try it. And mother-in-law, you have blood sugar issues. So I want you to try it. And sister-in-law, who doesn't always want to lose a few pounds. So you're going to try this. And my very first month, I had those 3 people. And I didn't even know what silver was. I wasn't trying to hit silver. It's just your natural inclination to tell people, mom, sister, so-and-so, and best friend who just joined my team 5 minutes ago because I told you to. And so my very first month, I made back my investment plus $60. And then January, I kept growing and we just kept sharing. And we were in California. No one was in California. I don't know if you know Lori Welch, but a little bit after we joined, she went emerald and she was like the first jewel. That's how nobody we had out here. Like, we had nothing. Super Saturday, we joined December 1st and 5th, me and my friend. Super Saturday was like that following month. And I was like, I don't know, there's some corporate training going on. We should probably go to it. You probably get more people to like a team Christmas party than this Super Saturday had people. There were 30 people there maybe. And all of us were like, hey, who's your upline? And they were all in different states. California did not have, people. And so I tell you that to let you know what the way we started was by inviting people over and flipping through the catalog. Like, we literally went like, and this is a triplex. And oh, I take BioCleanse and it helped me get regular. And oh, ProBio 5, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we have this great vitamin. It has aloe vera. And we just offered people hope and said, this has helped me like this. What are your problems? Okay, you should probably try the vitamin. And we just went, and I think I went gold maybe in March. I know I went to my first convention. I think I was hitting Ruby. It must have been Ruby, because by the next convention, which was a year and a half later, I was emerald. So in a year and a half, I was able to hit that emerald rank. And what was significant about that was that check replaced what I was making as a lawyer. And I know that we're not allowed to make income claims. And I know that makes people who are emerald can be an emerald starting today. So their paychecks this much, and someone on the brink of being sapphire. But I can tell you that just based on the points, like 1,500 points times the average bonus. And I mean, it's basically replacing an income of an attorney in LA. And that's what I needed and wanted. And I had the freedom to be with my kids and be at all their school functions and be going and getting lunch with my girlfriends and pouring into people and training them to share health and happiness with other people rather than having deadlines and a boss asking me where this is at and this needs to be filed and looking, it just, I'm not knocking people. I always tell people this. I'm not knocking people who love their job. If you love your job, that's great. But if you're miserable in your job, you don't have to stay there. There are alternatives. And to me, this is a fantastic alternative because it's simple. It makes a great return on your investment and it gives you time freedom and financial freedom that everybody's looking for. So that's my Plexus story. And now I've gone, like I said, I've been in it for almost 9 years. I've gone diamond. I have several jewels. I have friends who take it. I have friends who don't take it even after all this time. There's always going to be those people. You just have to learn to pick up and keep going. And so let me see what time. Okay. The two things, that's my story. The two things I wanted to talk about to you today to hopefully kind of help you along your journey. And I think that this applies to whether you just signed up a week ago or if you've been doing this for 9 years, is I want you to always be thinking about perfectionism and procrastination and how those are deadly to our business. And perfectionism it's not excelling, it's procrastinating based on fear. And so perfectionism stems from a fear of doing something wrong, but isn't doing something better than doing nothing at all? And so I know that a lot of people follow Bob Heilig or used to. And one of the things he said way back then that I always remembered is an executed plan B is better than a non-executed plan A. So if you're waiting to perfect your plan but doing nothing, what's the point? And so I want you to know that seeking to have the perfect anything, whether it's the perfect post or the perfect message or the perfect onboarding system, is just fear causing you to procrastinate. And so I don't want you to get stuck in that. Some people think perfectionism is a good thing. And to me, I think it's like a stalling tactic. And so I teach highly to my team to not worry about being perfect. You do want to do things with excellence. There's a difference. There's a difference, right? Like you tell your kids, I want you to try your best. I don't want you to just go up to bat and swing at everything. Like you've learned to watch the ball come in. You've learned how to stand. I want you to stand the way you've been taught to stand and swing the way you've been taught to swing. I don't want you to just go up there and be like, oh, well, I did it because I didn't want to not do it. You still want to have excellence and do your best. Your best may not be perfect. Your best, if you just joined in the last 2 months, is not going to be anywhere near Kendall's best because of the experience that she has behind it. But I do expect people to work with excellence. And when you do work with excellence and you do those steps, you will see fruit. So even if it's, hey, I threw up that post and like the most random person liked it, someone I didn't think was paying any attention, that gives you encouragement. That gets you motivated to keep going and keep doing things. One of the things that I also say is motivation doesn't precede action, it follows it. You do something, somebody messages you, even if it's not somebody messages you, it could be someone on your own team going, man, that post is awesome. Can I use it? That encourages you to write another post. Someone joins your team, that encourages you to post those testimonies that you think don't even relate to you. So motivation comes after the action, not before. So many people have that backwards. Oh, I want my team leader to motivate me. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you that if you don't have the determination and drive and the want that you're going to do because I told you to do it. There's nothing that Kendall, someone said on my team, I'm going to have so-and-so do coaching calls with so-and-so because I think that they'll like listen to her better. And I was like, first of all, you're their upline. And if they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to listen to her. If they're motivated to do the work, if their want to is strong enough, they're going to do it regardless of who's coaching them. Because coaching someone is really providing tools, holding accountable, and encouraging to continue. It doesn't matter where the message is coming from. And so I want you to think of that. Action precedes motivation, not the other way around. And then so procrastination, let me go to my notes. Oh yeah, okay, so steps for not procrastinating. Okay, so perfection leads to procrastination. Procrastination leads to nothing, which is no good. Steps for not procrastinating. Remember, number one, go for good enough. Do it with excellence, but it just needs to be good enough. Be authentic. Think it through. I also have people that will ask, well, what message are you sending for such and such? Like, that can work every once in a while. But I don't have canned messages. I do have like, here's a first post idea. Tinker with it to your heart's desire. Leave the bones there, because we have a method of, which Kendall will know because Genevieve pounds this into our head. Focus on the person, right? So my first post idea is kind of like, are you feeling like you don't have enough time these days? I know that the world's picking back up and heading back into full gear. Are you tired? Are you sluggish? Are you wondering like, where has the day gone, and exhausted at the end of your day? Because I used to feel that way too. But I found something that helped me. If this sounds like you, I want you to know it doesn't have to be that way. Let's talk. Okay. So it's about them. So if you're saying like, well, sluggish, tired, out of time, I don't know, none of those things. Okay. Well, what's your pain point? Put it out there to them as, is this your pain point? So I do have messages like that we change up. But if someone said, do you have a message? I don't have a message. I think of, who am I sending this to? And then I try to word it to fit them. And so just think of the person. Like, I think that people are afraid to think I don't know what to say, but I think if you're focused on what you're saying, be authentic, appeal to their emotions, not look what Plexus did for me, because they don't care, then you can come up with a message without having to have a canned message. And so I think that's important. So go for good enough, but do it with excellence. Every action that you take gives you clarity and confidence, which I like. That goes with that motivation comes later, right? You might throw up a message and then someone sees it, or you get a response to it, and you're like, ooh, maybe because based on what the feedback I've gotten, I should have changed something. I should have said it like this. Oh, I should have mentioned there's a discount or whatever. So doing something, activity, gives you clarity, helps you clear up what you're trying to do. For example, here's a good example. We do reach outs, right? Our winning day has reach outs every day. What is Genevieve saying? You're not getting biz builders because you're not doing biz builder reach outs. You're doing customer reach outs. Clarity. Oh, I am doing the work, but I need to be more clear on what the ask is. So now my message to people is, hey, you know, you've been seeing all these before and afters about the reset. I'm looking for business partners to do this with me. Do you want to reset with me next time? See how you feel, and maybe grab a few friends, because I'm looking to mentor someone. Are you interested in that? So we're talking about the reset, but I'm telling them I want a business partner. Clarity. And then it also gives you confidence, because it gives you the ability to work through it. Some people might say, yeah, I could use an extra income. Like, I'll be real with you guys. You get message samples like, you say this and then they say that, and then you say this and they say that, and they say that is always like the perfect dream response, and you're like, that never happens. But I have to tell you that if you continue to do this, first of all, it teaches you how to work through that is not what they replied with. But I actually, like 2 weeks ago, had that literally happen. And I was screenshotting the conversations and telling my team, because it was like, I want to do a reset. And I said, okay, well, I recommend this pack plus with these maintenance products, because you don't want to just do a 3-day reset and have nothing to do after. So this helps you, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, okay, sign me up. And I'm like, okay, I need this information from you. We start on Tuesday. Okay, great. Here's all my info. And I was like, what? So once in a while, it does happen. If it doesn't happen, I've had people say, no, thanks, I'm not ready for that right now. It's like, okay, cool. Let's get you your reset, get these maintenance products. And after you're done with the reset, if you have awesome results, are you like going to tell your friends about it? And they're like, I don't know, I might. Well, that's cool. When you get there, we'll talk about like whether you want to give them your referral link, and you're planting those seeds, right? So clarity in how to approach conversations. So we're being clear that we're wanting biz builders. We're being clear that we're going to teach them what this link is for. We're being clear that they're going to get a referral bonus. So when and if you're ready to tell people, we've already talked about this, and it's not some random thing that you pulled out. Okay, step number 2, strive for excellence. I kind of already talked about that, so I won't keep going. Put time on your side, like Kendall mentioned earlier. Work your winning day. You know how much time it takes. Don't tell people you can work this into the nooks and crannies of your life, because that's misleading. I don't want to be at a baseball game watching my kid play and doing something while they're switching fields because it's a nook and cranny. Like, just tell me to get up 30 minutes earlier, go to bed 30 minutes earlier, feed your kids lunch, and while they're eating, tell them I'll be back in 20 minutes. I'm going to work. Honestly, when you really don't waste your time, you have plenty of time. So schedule when you're going to work. And then that way you're not having these expectations that things aren't going the way you want them to go. What else? Where's my other? I guess that's it. Those were the, the last one is break your addiction of comparing yourself to others. So this whole perfectionism, I have to have the perfect post. Don't forget that people are posting their best on social media, and you are comparing it to like your side ponytail with your lashes falling off, no makeup, and you're still in yesterday's clothes. That's not reality. So don't compare yourself. Just do your best, right? Be active, because it brings clarity and confidence. Do your work with excellence. Plan your time and give yourself the amount of time that you need to do the work. And don't compare yourself to others. And if you do that, then you won't be in this procrastination wheel of getting nothing done, which we all know that that's no fun. So those are my tips.
I love it. I have, a good solid page of notes. I love action steps. But I also love, we so quickly when we see people, so like you were a lawyer, right? So you're a professional, you look like you've got your career path, and, people think lawyer and they're like, they've got plenty of finances, like, and we prejudge they wouldn't be interested in this. They wouldn't want to do this. Yeah. And it's just such a good reminder. I want to say it was Brooke Hemingway said that the people she goes for in the business are those that don't have time to do it. Are those that have a career, are those that know how to be disciplined and organized and take action steps, because those are the ones that are going to know that you can't quit. That's the quickest way to fail. And so us leading with the business, like Genevieve always says, lead with the business, post about the business. Don't be scared to talk about the financial opportunity, even if you aren't there yet. Even if you have a silver income, right? Like, there is the opportunity is out there for everyone. And we all know health sells, because unfortunately we're a very unhealthy society. So I love that you, as a lawyer, you knew you needed something different. And so I think that's just a good lesson. But also the executed plan B is better than plan A that you never do. And I'm the procrastination. I was telling some people earlier that today, this whole winning day, right? So some of y'all, we've talked about this. Some of y'all, it's coming this month, because, even seeing this, right? Like doing this as long as I have, and knowing the things I need to do, and nothing on here is a surprise, right? These are the steps to a winning day, the steps to growing your business, right? Because I was like, oh, well, I don't have that part perfectly worked out yet. So I'll start doing this whole thing when I figure out who I want to connect with, when I get my potentials organized, when I have my message ready to go, right? It was all these excuses that it has to be perfect before I start, when really doing it ugly is better than not doing it at all. And the more you do it ugly, the prettier it gets. The more lessons you learn. And the more you start having those wins that keep you motivated, because you're like, oh, stuff's happening. People actually want this from me. People are liking my posts. And so I love, just that reminder. And then, go for good enough, right? It's good enough. Yeah. I did it. And not overthinking, what am I going to say to this person? How are they going to respond? Because I can get caught in that trap too. If I say this is how they'll respond. And then this is how I'll respond. Okay, my plan's ready. Now I can go.
Right.
It never turns out that way.
I know.
It never goes that way. But one question I did have for you, just because you do have a diamond team. So I'm sure you've been through people that start their business and things go great. And then maybe they kind of go sideways and they get discouraged and quit. And then they want to start again and then they stop again, you know. So how do you kind of help somebody who maybe does want to have that fresh start in the business? Like, how do you kind of help them? Because for me, I mean, we know it's about the why, and mindset is kind of like our biggest hurdle through all things. So how would you encourage someone that maybe wants to have that fresh start to do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, what I would do is thankful for Genevieve's training, right? Is being really clear on what it takes to get places, right? So one of the things that I love that she taught us is just taking the next step. You know, so for example, someone says that they want to make this happened actually. Someone wants to make like a full-time income, and we're encouraging her. I don't want to sell the pie in the sky, because you sell the pie in the sky and it just looks like too big. Like if you looked across a mountain range and was like, I have to get to that peak, you'd be kind of freaked out. But if I just said, just walk down this trail and get to the bottom, and then at the bottom, you're going to see like it's really not that steep to go up that side, and then we're going to go down a hill and up and blah, 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 step by step, right? You would do that. And so with anybody, I'm like, what is the next step? So someone who wants to, what I was going to say is someone said, I want to replace my income. And we're like, okay, that's doable. People do that. But your first step is to throw up this first post. Like, you're not going to go emerald in 2 months. I mean, people do it, but it's very rare. So are you willing to take this first step? You did it? Great. I'm going to help you with the follow-up. Oh, you have these new VIPs? Ask them if they will do this. That's the next step. And so we did have this girl, and then she wants to make an income. We brought it back down to like, relax. And not that that's not a bad thing. We want you to be excited, but we have to talk in chunks that you can digest. And then she went fast start silver. So I was like, what an awesome month. She's like, what do I need to do to make $1,000 a month? Great. I mean, I want you to want that. And I said, what a great month you had. You went silver. Here's the next step. You keep recruiting. You keep going. Like, you want to be silver again. And let's see which of these people will share also. Are they going to throw up that first post that you threw up? Because if you can get from Genevieve 4 level 1 VIPs who each have 4 VIPs, you're pretty much going to be gold. So that's the next step. So to anyone who is new or restarting, I would encourage you to ask your upline or ask Kendall, what is my first step? If you're restarting, your first step is being consistent in sharing and posting decent posts. So don't just cut and paste. Don't just say who wants to. Make it about them. Remember to draw them in. Are you experiencing this? Could you use some extra income? Could you use some free time? Could you use, and I mean, you have to think and be creative, right? Because like, I wanted to quit my job, but I have people on my team who love their jobs. So I have to always, every opportunity call I do, which I said here, I'm not knocking people who love their job. If you love your job and you're not quitting, that's great. Do you want a vacation fund so that you can go on any vacation you want without even thinking about the money? Do you want to buy extra houses so that you can have income? What do you want to do with that extra money? Like for me, quitting my job is a little more desperate, right? Because I need this money to live off of. If you love your job, great. Now that means your Plexus money is play money. How do you want to play with it? And so you have to appeal to all different people. So what are you posting about? Post about the income opportunity. I do post about reset because it's an easy draw, but when I talk to people, I bring in the income opportunity. I don't just sell someone a reset. I tell them, by the way, I'm looking to mentor 3 leaders through the end of the year. It's super easy. Like, this is my favorite line that I came up with, which I don't know why we haven't said this sooner. I tell people, so you know that post that you saw that made you say, I want to do a reset. Can you post like that? Something like that? Like, it caught your eye. My post wasn't some spammy, weird, click here for a discount mess. Like, you liked my post. So that means I'm posting some pretty good stuff. If you liked it and you wanted to do it, Can you repeat that? So I tell people like, so that post that you saw that caught your eye, post something like that. It's going to catch your friend's eyes. Would you be willing to do that? You got to go for the ask. And when someone says no, Sally Bass did a call for us and it was don't take no for an answer. And it's kind of like that when someone's like, well, I can't fit it into the budget right now. You could so easily be like, okay, check, and moving on, right? It took courage. I'm a diamond and I still had to be like, don't do it, Sylvia, don't walk away. And I replied to her and I was like, I totally understand, but I don't want it to be something about your budget. I can help you. I can give you the steps to make this not be about your budget. Would you be willing to learn? Would you be willing to throw up a post if I helped you or send out a text message? So I didn't just, and I even said, you mentioned that your mom might be interested. Is there anyone else you can think of? And I sent the message so it gets their wheels turning. So don't take the easy route out and just do those next baby steps. Post consistently, post about the business, and then just have a good follow-up plan in place. And don't be afraid to talk about the business and tell people, I'm looking for business partners. And I'm looking to, depending on the person, they could be a business partner or they could be a mentee. I'm looking to mentor someone. But you have to have that lingo in your vocabulary from the get-go so that they're not like, wait, a link? You want me to talk about a link? What are you even talking about? They already know what you're talking about. And take those steps. And then when they say yes, you have to have that first post idea ready to go. So type it up now. I have one that I can share with Kendall that Genevieve picked apart so that when someone says, yes, I'm willing to throw that up a post, you can send it to them in 10 seconds. Not panic mode. Oh my gosh, I need to make up what's a good first post? Like, no, you need to have a note in your phone. This is the post I send, or here's a text you can send to your like sister, your friends. And it's similar to the post, but it's like, hey, I was feeling like this. I talk to my friend. I'm going to try these products. You want to try whatever. So there's a first post and a text message like, hey, would you send this text out to like your closest friends and family? Yes. Okay. I'm going to send you that text in 1 minute. Have those things ready. Save them on a note to your phone so you have them ready. And then, so I tell you this because, right, I say do the first steps. And then I feel like no one ever tells us what the first steps are. Those are the first steps. Post, be consistent, share about the business, and have those things ready to go. So when you ask someone, will you share? And they say yes, here you go, share this. Throw up a picture of yourself floating in the pool with your pink drink, working out with your pink drink, walking the dog with your pink drink, dropping the kids off with your pink drink, and put this post up. And you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And that's Genevieve always says micro commitments, right? So like I know Samuel and I were talking about people who maybe dabbled with this in the past and we're like, how do we get them re-engaged with this? And it's conversation, right? So Genevieve always says face-to-face is best, Zoom is next best, phone call is next best, and then just continue going down the tier, right? But have a conversation to try to find out how do I make this about them? What are their pain points? What is it they need out of this? And then micro commitments. And yeah, we've always said the actions, it's get them to make a post, get them to start having conversations. That's the text, and teach them to follow up. Post conversations, follow up, repeat. Post conversations, follow up, repeat. Like that's the whole system. And we just overcomplicate it in our brains because of that perfection we're seeking, which causes us to procrastinate and do nothing. And then we make that about ourselves because we're not getting the results that we want. And it just keeps us in this vicious cycle that we could get out of if we just did it imperfectly, right?
Yeah.
So, and if we asked for help, being willing to ask for help and being coachable to use the help that you get. So, but Silvia, thank you. So much wisdom on here. And I just love hearing from those that have done this and have paved the way and have helped a lot of people do the same. Thank you so much for hopping on here with us tonight.
My pleasure.
With your call next. So we'll let you get to that. But guys, thank you everyone for getting on here. I appreciate y'all for being flexible with the time. But everyone